Hey there, I'm Steve,
And Tommy.
and together we're
We're
Smart
Smart
Home
Home
Rigs,
Rigs.
helping your smart home tech work
Work
for
for
you.
you.
Over the years, we've integrated smart home technology into a lot of people's houses who wanted to make their homes smarter and more automated.
But Dad, what about people who hate smart home technology?
Good question, son. My belief is people who hate smart home technology just don't understand how it can work for them and not against them. To that end, if you're going to have a good smart home integration in anyone's house, it requires three things. Number one, that they have Wi Fi, and who doesn't these days? Number two, that you can speak with your mouth hole and control them, which means you have to have some sort of smart assistant. And three, you have to have tactile buttons so that people who don't like smart home technology can hit a button and not have to use their mouth holes. Plus, it helps when other people come over that aren't familiar with smart home technology because they don't have to wonder what commands you've set up. They can recognize the light switch on the wall, and they know how light switches work. My mother-in-law's house is not smart home friendly. We changed that, and this is how.
We started our installation with the Philips Hue Hub, which is the heart of this smart home integration, and comes with the 4-pack of bulbs we're going to be using in the basement downstairs later. But for this install, we're going to use the Hue White Ambient bulb, as this bulb will look the best at the breakfast table. So let's screw the bulb in before flipping the switch to the on position. Get our app started, and then we'll have it search for the bulb. I'm going to do that in fast motion so that you don't have to watch the circle go around while it's looking for it. This whole process takes about anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds. Once it finds it, you just simply give it a name. We're going to call this one Breakfast Table. And then I'm going to set up a couple of scenes so that she can scroll through the app, and they should closely mimic the low, medium, and high settings that you would normally want to use at a table that you're going to be eating at with your family. So I'll just get these scenes set up before we move on to the next step and show you how to install the dimmer switch. And in addition to the low, medium, and high, I always like to throw one other one just for a nice little mood, and I find this Spring Lake one to be very relaxing. So we'll get these set up for her, and then we'll move on to the next step.
What kind of dimmer switch are we using? And what is a dimmer switch?
The dimmer switch we'll be using is the Lutron Aurora, which is appropriate because Lutron's founder, Joel Spira, is the man who invented the residential dimmer switch while working out of an apartment he shared with his wife Ruth, starting way back in 1959. As a young physicist who was fascinated by the aesthetic manipulation of light, Joel figured out how to replace the bulky rheostat that used lots of energy and generated a great deal of heat with a thyristor, which shrank the size of the dimmer so that it could fit in a wall box, while generating much less heat while using much less energy. At the time, dimmer switches were reserved for playhouses and stage lighting, and Joel changed all that. After securing his patent for his solid-state dimmer switch, he started Lutron Electronics in 1961, where he perfected the dimmer switch and patented it in 1962, forever changing how we use light in our homes to set a mood.
What was the first dimmer switch and what did it look like?
Lutron's first residential switch was called the Capri, and he began selling it under that name in 1964, marketing it not to builders or electricians, but instead marketing it towards women who wanted to create ambiance using lighting in their home instead of just candlelight. The Capri was a rotary dial switch that could be pushed on and turned to brighten or dim a room's lighting. The retro ad from the 60s, seen here, you can see the power of the Capri to dial romance in practically any room of the house. His packaging was even designed to mimic a perfume bottle, to make it look more female friendly. And over the 50 years of innovation, Lutron has invented hundreds of lighting control devices and systems, and they're expanded their product line from 2 products to over 15,000. The company has advanced the technology of lighting while maintaining top market position by focusing on exceptional quality and design, with lines like Lutron Caseta, which is used in countless smart homes across the world. Today's dimmer switches come in different forms, and you can often control them by a rotary dial, a slide switch, and sometimes even a remote control, a computer, a smartphone, or voice activation using a digital assistant like Google, Amazon's Lady A, or HomeKit's Siri. And their latest version, the Lutron Aurora, which was built specifically for Philips Hue bulbs but will also work with any Zigbee compliant light, solves 2 problems. Number one, dimming the lights without having to use your cell phone or your mouth hole, and 2, stopping people from turning off your lights by switching off the physical button, which kills your connection to your smart bulbs, rendering them useless. The Aurora Smart Bulb Dimmer keeps Philips and other Zigbee certified bulbs in the always ready mode by locking the toggle light switch into the on position. This way no one can accidentally switch them off, along with your functionality. And their wireless design means that there's no wiring required to install them at all. In fact, you can install them with a tiny screwdriver in about 3 minutes, including the setup time with the app.
But Dad, what if the internet goes out? And what if the Wi-Fi stops working?
It also works if the Wi-Fi doesn't. So the Aurora dimmer switch, you can actually still dim your smart bulbs even if the Wi-Fi goes down. And it just looks like a little round dimmer switch button that you turn it on and turn to dim and brighten. Sound familiar? It should. I guess it's true what they say. Everything old is new again. And while my kid's playing downstairs, we're going to try and set up this Aurora switch for the light we've just set up. It goes right over the rocker switch and allows you to turn it into a dimmer switch. So for all intents and purposes, this smart home technology will look like regular technology for somebody who doesn't like smart home technology. So it basically consists of these two pieces right here. So you put this one over the light switch like this, tighten it down, which will lock it into place. This little spike right here is what holds the switch up. And then once you get that right, then you just pop this over the top. You'll see a little light inside of here. Then it's just like a regular dimmer. You tap it on or turn it to adjust the brightness. So we'll get this set up and we'll be right back. So we're back over in the app and we're going to go into the settings and go down to accessories. Once the accessory setups come up, you say you're going to add an accessory. And if you look past all the Hue accessories, at the very bottom you'll see one that says Friend of Hue. And once you slide down there and you click on Friend of Hue switch, if you scroll down you'll see the Lutron Aurora right there. Go ahead and hit that button. Double click on the button itself, which will start it into pairing mode. And then we'll see it find it right here in just a second. And now it's searching. And it's been added. We're going to put it in that room. And done. And here I'm just going to rename the switch where it's located so that it's going to be easier for her to find should she use the app or want to use her mouth hole with Lady A. Only thing left to do is make sure that the accessory is also in the same room and install the switch by making sure you pop it over the light switch cover, screw that end down, and then pop the button on the front. And here's how that works. And then when you turn it down or turn it up, good to go. Not bad, huh? So now no more naked bulb in my face.
We can dim it and we can still see what we're eating instead of eating in the dark.
That's true. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends.
And ding that bell. If you ding the bell, you'll get notified when we post new content.
We hope you like this one. This is part 1 in the series. We're going to have one more where we cover the scary basement.
Stay tuned for part 2.
So until next time, I've been Steve.
And Tommy.
And you guys have been great. Smart Home Rigs, helping your smart home tech work for you.